We're back with the same macro again. This is the macro that makes the rectangle around a selected shape. We're going to add a little winAPI programming to it. This condition here is new for VBA 7. You're going to need to put this in front of your functions and subs and add this to your long variables. This is all winAPI programming. It goes at the top. Option explicit is a VBA command. It goes at the very top of all of your modules. When you put this, it makes it explicit to declare all variables. If you could actually use this macro with S without declaring S as shape, but you can run into trouble like that, so this makes it so an error will appear and tell you if a variable is not declared. I like to put this on every macro, and you can add that in the tools options right here. Require variable declaration. It'll automatically put that for you at the top of every module you start. This function here is a winAPI function. This is a translation of it. It's been translated so we can use it in VBA. If we're using VBA 7, then it'll use this. If not, it'll use this one. These are some constants for your escape, return, shift, control key. You can use these as needed for any macro. Okay, and we're going to get started adding some stuff to this. So we're going to make it so, let's say if we hold shift, it'll give us a different margin and a different color. So we'll go if, and then we'll go up here, double click on that, control C. Okay, and then we're going to return a value here. Let's see what this function returns. An integer. So it returns it an integer, 1 or 0, depending on if the key is pressed or not. So let's see here. We're going to use this one. If the shift is pressed, it'll return a 1. If not, it'll return a 0. So we're going to go then, and we haven't showed you this statement yet, but it's else. If this is not true, is true, do this. If not, do this. So we go end if. Let's say we're holding shift, we'll get a 0.25 margin. Copy, paste. If we're not holding shift, we'll get a smaller margin, 0.1. And let's change the color of the box too. So for this, we're going to need a color. So we'll declare our color. We'll just say coal. I like coal. It's simple. As, and with colors you can go new color. Just like you would with a shape range, you would use the new keyword. So this is, as soon as it's declared, it's created. The object is created, and you can assign something to it. Okay, so now since the object is there, we can go coal dot. Let's give it an RGB assign, and we'll do red 0 0 just to keep it simple. You can't assign to an object that hasn't been created. So for certain objects, you want to create it with the new keyword. Okay? If not, you have to use set. Remember we used set? So we're going to create it while we declare it. That way we can straight away just use it. So I'm going to cut that. I'm going to put that in here. And then we're going to control C, copy that, and put that here. And we'll do blue. If shift is not pressed, we'll do blue. Okay. Okay. That's what we got. We got everything looking good here. So we'll go down here and we'll just s.fill.uniform color, and we want to hit dot, and then we'll go copy assign. And what are we going to do? We're going to copy the properties of this color into the fill uniform color property. Okay, so let's just give this a little test and see if it works. And you can use these. This is great. You can do a lot of stuff with a macro with this. You can hold shift and do one way, hold control, do it another way, or hold nothing and do it a different way. So we got our circle here, and we're going to run the macro. I'm just going to run it. That gave us a blue square. Okay, I'm going to select it again. This time I'm going to hold shift and I'm going to run the macro. That gave us a red square with a different margin. Okay, everybody see what's going on here? Option explicit. This is VBA. This is not winAPI. This makes it so your variables must be declared or you get an error. I like to use this. This is winAPI function right here. This is located in a Windows DLL somewhere on your computer. And this is a translation, so this function will work in VBA. If you use this condition, you can use it in 32-bit or a 64-bit installation of Draw. These are some VBA constants for the keys. It's very simple. We go if, and it'll return 0 if shift is not pressed, and 1 if it is, and it does this. Gives dmargin different values. If, else. We could go else if and add another and then else and do, and we could use control, double click, and see how it highlights it just by double clicking it, and then we can go paste it in. If control's pressed, do this. So we get a lot of control with these modifier keys that you can do in your macros. You can use colors, you can change values with these modifier keys and make your macro do lots of different things just by holding a key. So very handy.